Lampard is back. Talk to me about Lampard returning, brother.
Aye, it is what it is. I'll take it. We're crap. We're not doing anything for the rest of this season. If we're going to go down and the ship's going to sink, I'd rather Lampard be the captain of the sinking ship rather than Graham Potter or Bold Potter. I don't care. I really don't care. Like, we're fully into Vibes FC, even though we were kind of already in this situation a couple weeks ago. It was just us waiting for us to sack Graham Potter first. Now, I think the board are trying to actually take their time with their next appointment, as opposed to rushing like they did with Tuchel and Potter. So they needed somebody to take over. It could have genuinely been anyone. The fact there's Frank Lampard makes it a little bit better from a fan's perspective. I feel like the mood and the atmosphere is going to be a little bit better for us too as a result of that. But I don't think it changes nothing. We've been crap before Lampard. I don't expect Lampard to change anything really. With the fixtures that we have coming up, I don't really expect much either. Whatever happens, happens. We're into Vibes FC. I don't really care. As long as we get a result at the Emirates and impact the title race, I'm fine. Other than that, I don't care.
Panel, is this the right move for Chelsea? Because I see a lot of Chelsea fans happy because, you know, he's proper Chelsea. He's Chelsea through and through. He'll galvanise the team. This is a man who was sacked because he wasn't able to galvanise the team. His communication was poor. Is it, Dodds, is this the right move for Chelsea? Or are they in a bit of a crisis here? Are they an identity crisis and don't know what to do?
You've got a team that's worth around £1 billion and you sign someone like Frank Lampard to take over that team. Frank Lampard is probably one of the worst managers I've seen. The guy struggled at Everton, and you expect him to go to Chelsea, back to Chelsea, and make an impact. You should have just kept Graham Potter. If you're gonna have Lampard back at your club, please, you should have just kept Graham Potter, because get someone like Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique. But Frank Lampard, you're going backwards. There's no plan at Chelsea. It's literally freestyle. In the transfer market, they just freestyle. They buy what everyone wants. By getting managers, it's freestyle. They've got no plan. They don't know they've got no process. They said, the board said that they're backing Graham Potter and this is a long-term project. They have a few hiccups and then Graham Potter's out the window.
Hiccups.
A few hiccups.
What
kind of a reach is that?
Let me finish.
We've been playing a relegation form for the last 6 months.
You guys were never going to get Champions League football, even with Graham Potter.
We never asked for it. That was never a target for him.
And getting Frank. What would you expect Frank Lampard to do for you guys when you guys Champions League?
Nothing. That's why I don't care that he's
backward signing.
What is the aim? What would you expect a manager to come into Chelsea right now and do? What do you expect them to do?
No, but if you're waiting to get someone like Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique, get them now so they've got that 6-week period to know the dressing room, know the players. Then in the summer, they can
maybe they're not sure what option they want and they want to give it time, so they have an interim in charge until then. There is zero targets for Frank Lampard. We are nowhere near top 4. We aren't getting top 7, and don't even bother with Real Madrid in the Champions League. It is what it is. So who cares? Like, what is Lampard going to do in 11 games, or what is he going to fail at in 11 games? Nothing. It can't get worse. We're not going to go down. We're not going to probably go
Frank Lampard, it can get worse. I'm sorry, it can get worse, Frank Lampard.
How worse could it get?
The guy couldn't scrape no wins with Everton. And
no. You're talking about the past. You're talking about the past now. As a manager, he's a failure. He can't do anything. What would he do?
He's got no prospect.
Where would he leave Chelsea in terms of worst this season?
They can drop down more in the table.
To what? Are we going down?
Not going down, but...
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, so it doesn't impact anything.
Let me ask a question, though, right? I understand it's a very populist decision to bring him in. It's to do what it's done with you, Lewis. Like, you're happy because it's him. You're happy because it's Lampard and you respect him. But the fact you're interviewing Luis Enrique and you're trying to talk to Jose Mourinho about a return, does that tell you that your board has no idea about the identity they want, and therefore the £700-800 million you're spent on players could be default, could default because Jose might come in and say, I don't want 70% of these players. You might have Luis Enrique who could get a tune out of them. But it does feel like there is no identity about the approach you're taking now with the type of managers you're approaching.
I feel like from now until the end of the season, we're just going to get linked with everybody because it could be easy to make an article about it. Realistically, I think we're only linked with Nagelsmann, Enrique, Pochettino. I think even Amorim said he wasn't that interested, but we were linked with him. Mourinho is at Roma. Like, he told the new board he'd love to come back when they first joined, and that's about it. Conte, we are not getting Conte. They didn't want Tuchel because he was a short-term manager. They're not even going to look in Conte's direction. Makes absolutely no sense. They want a long-term project manager. So I don't see Jose coming in. I don't see Nagelsmann. Not Nagelsmann, Conte. I see Nagelsmann or Enrique, and maybe a couple other options, but they're trying to be slow about it. And I don't want them coming back into the fixture list that we have with the dead team that we have as well. I'd rather them come in the summer, a fresh start, without having to worry about anything or any pressure, because we have 2 free games a week now until the end of the season. Fixture list is cramped, and our fixtures are terrible. We've got United away, Arsenal away, City away, Newcastle at home is the last home game of the season. We've got Brighton at home, Brentford at home. I don't want my new managers going to that, and the Madrid ties in between all of that too. I don't want a new manager coming into that. It's a toxic ass environment for him. Come next season, let Frank Lampard have 11 games to, I don't know, either the same thing happens or he builds up a little bit of stock for himself. I don't know. I don't really care. But the season's done now anyway. We're just happy because a legend's back. Other than that, if for any reason on the pitch, there is no reason on the pitch why we're happy. Doesn't make a single difference. We've been shit. We're going to continue to be shit. It is what it is. Let's have Lampard in charge for a month or two. It's better than Potter.
Yeah, Lewis, you're my guy, but I'm loving this. Chelsea turned into Sentiment FC, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea Football Club. Todd Bohley has come into Chelsea Football Club, took a Champions League winning team from a year ago, sacked the manager, got rid of all the people, got rid of Marina, got rid of all the recruitment staff, brought in 65 players and paid 600 million at the goal, and now they're this. This is Chelsea Football Club. They're a joke of a football club.
You're saying this. Igal, you're saying this like we've signed Lampard to a 5-year contract.
No. But I'm not
making for 11 games.
It's not about that. It's the fact is when he came in and he started spending all this money and everything, I always said it, and I'm gonna continue to say it. He didn't know what he was doing. But the new signings haven't been a problem. So I don't know what you're talking about. This right here is a sentiment signing. This right here is a signing.
It's an interim signing.
I get it that it's an interim signing.
It's not even going to be here in 2 months.
I get it that he might not be here.
How are we talking about Chelsea have fallen to Sentiment FC? No, we're having a dead season. That's it.
But the reality is he doesn't like your first team goalkeeper Kepa. He likes
good. Monique. I don't like him.
He did. A lot of your players don't like Mason Mount and want to get rid of him. He's good.
I don't like him either.
That's true. I know we don't like him.
I want to say Havertz. I don't like him either.
Also, this is a manager who just got sacked by your club, and a lot of your fans don't like him.
He deserves to be sacked. He's a crap manager.
So you want him back?
Who? Potter.
Frank Lampard.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Potter. No, Lampard got sacked at the right time. He's here for 2 months. I don't care who's in charge. The same thing applies. 3 weeks ago, I was saying the number one thing I want is Potter gone, and I don't care who takes over till the end of the season.
But Lewis, in what world would you ever take the former Everton manager who got sacked because his team got into a relegation battle?
In a world where we have nothing to achieve this season and we just need somebody to take a position for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
You want to know something? You have lowered your expectations to this level, which is actually a healthy thing for you.
What expectations? There's nothing to expect.
No, but this is healthy for you. I appreciate that. You're actually a normal fan who understands the situation of your club. A lot of your fan base still won't, and they will give.
No, but you were saying we're Sentiment FC and we've fallen and everything. We're having a crap season. Long term, I have no worries about Chelsea. We'll be back. I ain't worried about that. Like, our new signings, you spoke about the 600 million. The new signings aren't a problem. It's the players that have still been here that are the problem, not the new sign. Other than Koulibaly, none of them have been an issue.
I don't think this is I think people are getting this kind of mistaken about Lampard coming back. Look, we all know Lampard is not a good coach. He's awful. He's a dreadful manager. But this is not why he's come back into Chelsea. I think Lewis hit the nail on the head a minute ago when he was talking. He's come back in as a senior legend figure to come in and basically for those players to stand up and take notice of the fact that he's a legend of the club and he's taking them forward to the end of the season. This is not about coaching. This is not about what Lampard's going to do on the training ground, because we know he's not good enough at that level. But what he's going to do is come in and use his stature to try and get Chelsea over the line. And where that is over the line, who knows? But just to get them
There's
through.
no line, bro. That's the whole point.
So
There's
just
no
to get
line
through to the end of the season. Now, there was a question earlier on about, why is Nagelsmann and one or two other managers not been brought in now? You think those managers are going to want to go into any of those clubs right now in this situation, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Tottenham, whoever? They're not. They're going to be sitting back and they're going to observe and say, okay, what are these clubs got to offer me? I'm going to observe them. I'm going to watch them between now and the end of the season and then see what they've got to offer. But don't forget, there were other clubs that may well come available. And these managers are not stupid. Other clubs may come available in the summer, and they might just be able to be in that position to cherry pick who they want to go to. And that's the reality of it. That's the way I see it anyway.
But the only point I was making is we were just, what was it, 2 years ago, where Frank Lampard got sacked by Chelsea and they went and they got Thomas Tuchel and won the Champions League. If they were under Roman and they were sacking Graham Potter, they would have gotten in a top manager to at least give them a chance against Real Madrid. They've basically written off the rest of the season, as Lewis has said, and that is showing the direction that the Chelsea Football Club are now going under this new ownership, which is they're willing to sacrifice the current for the future. And I don't see them having a direct plan in the short term at all, which is the way Chelsea used to do things.
Oh, so now we're looking at the long term. How terrible of our new owners. Bohley out and all of that crap. They're doing the right thing. The only issue that they did was not sacking Potter earlier, because then there might have been something to at least compete for. They've done it too late. Now everything's just finished. There's nothing to compete for. But that's why I don't care that Lampard's in charge. What am I going to be worried that Lampard's going to ruin? Are we not going to make top 4 with him? Oh, no. We're not going to make top 7. Oh, no.
Lewis, how long are you going to have patience for? Because you're not going to be in Europe next year.
With what?
If you have a similar season next year where you're not in top 4 and you're faltering down at the bottom, are you gonna continue to have patience?
Well, no, but that's a lot of variables. That depends on a crap manager, a crap window. Most signings that we've made are either long-term investments or players that have come in and hit the ground running for us. I'm not worried about our windows. I'm not worried about the new manager that we go for, because now we have actual footballing brains behind the club and not just Todd Bohley making decisions. He stepped back and let Christopher Vivell, Paul Winstanley, and the rest of our infrastructure handle all of that. So I've got no reason to be worried about our long-term future. Long-term, we look fine. I am not worried about that. It's just now. And even now, I'm not worried, because what are we losing? Other than the Madrid game, nothing. We've got nothing to compete for. Our season is finished. It's just done.
I want to throw it back to Miguel. Is that what you're challenging more, Miguel? Do you think the long-term plan of Chelsea is a mess? Do you actually think they have a plan?
I think they're just going to keep. I think they're just going to keep trying to go. They're not going to try to win now. They're not in a win now mode. They're looking in the long term, and I don't know how long they're looking at. It could be something that takes them 2-3 years. It could be something that takes them longer than that, because Todd Bohley needs to get himself and his feet from under him. And as Lewis said, if they have people in charge that are footballing people, let's see how long it takes them to get it. Because I think Chelsea right now are in a situation where they could find themselves in fighting for a top 4 for the next couple of years, maybe 4 or 5 years.
A couple of years with the players that we've been signing, and we look like we're going to continue to sign.
Just because you sign a lot of quality players doesn't mean they all gel, they all work, they all become quality. We've seen it in Manchester United. You could find yourself in a situation where Chelsea Football Club go trophyless this season. Next season, we don't know what their state is. And then they continue to keep pushing the can down to say they're going to compete in the future, but it doesn't come for like 4 or 5 years.
Are you thinking more from your own experience? Because it sounds like you're talking from your past.
No, I am. To be fair, Yes, I am. I am because I've seen a club in a mess. I've seen a club that looks like they don't have a
We've
direction.
had the
I've seen a
Cronkies
club-
who haven't spent for a while. We've had Bohley who's put 600
Hey,
million this first year.
Manchester United spent for 5 years. Terry will tell you this season, even though they didn't spend as much in the January window, they got a trophy and they're happy for it.
Yeah, that's United. They've had the Glazers for years, isn't it?
And you need to get
You've
through
made
your head that
long-term
this is not the
investments.
same Chelsea.
Enzo's come in. He's already looked like one of the best midfielders in the league, despite being surrounded by crap. Badiashiel's come in. He's been amazing. Felix has come in and been our best attacker. We're looking for a goalkeeper, a striker. We're going to have Nkuku coming in the summer too. Like, we've got Reece James on the right and Malo Gusto. We're going to have two midfielders coming in.
What's Felix's best position? What's Joao Felix's best position?
I'd say just behind the striker.
Lewis, my argument to you is you have patience. You are a fan that will have patience and trust. You are a fan that's somewhat positive, but you're genuine fans. Chelsea, majority of you guys don't know what it's like to be patient. Don't know what it's like to have a manager to go through tough times. Don't know what it's like to have to go through a rebuild. For 20 plus years, you've been, anytime you have an issue.
A lot of fans were very patient with Lampard the first time he was in charge.
Hey, but a lot of them wanted him out too. I remember the uproars. I remember it was just 2 years ago.
There is a massive amount of football fans. They're all going to have different opinions. There were some fans who are patient for Conte. There were some fans who are patient for Sarri. There was a lot of the majority of the fan base was patient with Jose Mourinho while he had us a point off the relegation zone. So I don't understand that.
And you know what? It's just at this moment in time, I don't see Chelsea turning it around next season and getting top 4. Where in the past, I could see that. I don't see that right now. I really do believe even next year, you guys will be in and around the mix where you're in a situation.